Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. I do have one quick favor before we get to the video that you came here for, and that is very simply this. You see that little red subscribe button below this video? Go ahead, smash that subscribe button. It really does help me. It really does help this channel grow and my audience grow. So go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. And now, here is the video that you came here for. Florida State is the favorite here, even though Virginia was the regular season conference champs. And that kind of leads me to what I believe is the single biggest storyline heading into the ACC tournament, and that is this. Well, there's two, really. We'll get to the second one, which is obviously Duke. But the first one, as far as I'm concerned, is very simply this. How good are all these teams? Because, look, we all love the ACC and the history and the tradition that comes with it, but we all know that Duke is down, North Carolina is down, and when I look across this conference, I just don't know how good all of these teams are. You look at Florida State, I love what Leonard Hamilton has done, but you go back their last 5 games away from Tallahassee, they're 2-3 straight up, including a loss to a bad Notre Dame team. Virginia lost 3 in a row late in the season, bounced back, played well late. Everybody else, I mean, Clemson, Virginia Tech, how good are those teams, let alone the bottom of the league, which absolutely stinks with Boston College and Notre Dame and Pitt and everybody like that. And so the first thing, my biggest question coming into this is just how good are any of these teams? And the ones that did show some limitations and did struggle late, like a Virginia, like a Florida State, do they turn things around and get hot going into the NCAA tournament? Because right now, the way that I look at this conference, I don't know that there is a national championship contender among them unless somebody can get hot and prove something to me going forward. The second biggest storyline going into the ACC tournament, I think we all know what it is. I think it's Duke basketball. They're sitting at 11-11 after that loss to North Carolina, second loss to North Carolina this season. And they're just not playing very well right now. And they have basically played themselves from completely off the bubble. They get hot after Jalen Johnson quits the team. And then they've played themselves back off the bubble here over the last couple weeks. And so when I look at them, they actually open the ACC tournament, with a game against Boston College on Tuesday. So there are a couple games Tuesday to start the conference tournament. And then if they win that, they would have to play Louisville. Louisville would be getting a bye into Wednesday. And then even if they win on Wednesday, they have to play Virginia Tech on Thursday. And so you're going to be playing Boston College and then 2 teams that would have byes play in the games that you played them. And so I think Duke, to get an NCAA tournament bid, has to win at least 3 games in the ACC tournament to even be in consideration. If they won 3 and then lost in the semifinals, that would be 14-12 overall. They would add wins over Louisville and Virginia Tech to their resume. And I think at that point, they are at least back on the bubble. I don't know that beating Boston College to open the conference tournament does anything for them. I don't even know that beating Louisville gets them on the right side of the bubble. I think they need to at least beat Louisville and Virginia Tech just to be in the conversation, let alone to actually get into the NCAA tournament. In terms of bubble teams in the ACC, well, it's pretty interesting. I mean, I just talked about Duke. I don't know that they're even really on the bubble at this point, but absolutely have to win a couple games. And Syracuse is another interesting one. They are in Joe Lunardi's first 4 out. They will open with NC State on Saturday or on Wednesday, And NC State is actually playing really well in their own right, having won 4 in a row. Actually, I believe it's 5 in a row coming into the conference tournament, and they won't be an easy out. NC State at 13-9 overall. It's actually 5 in a row. I was correct. NC State at 13-9 overall. Maybe if they win a couple games, play themselves onto the bubble. And then other than that, I don't think that there's really anybody else in the ACC that's on the bubble. UNC, it feels like they're pretty safely off as we speak here. Beating Duke has them on the 8-9 line, according to Joe Lunardi. They are the 6th seed going to this tournament. They will play the winner of Notre Dame and Wake Forest on Wednesday. So I would suggest to North Carolina, win that game and you're in. Don't lose that game. Don't lose to North Carolina or Wake Forest and put yourself in position to be on the bubble. If UNC wins 1 game, I think they're comfortably in. In terms of the best bet on a future in the conference tournament, what I'm going to do for all these tournaments, give you a best bet. According to my bookie, the one that I like the most, so again, Florida State is the favorite at plus 210. Virginia is plus 330. My favorite bet is actually Georgia Tech plus 2,500. That means you bet $1, you win 25 back. You bet $100, you win 2,500. But Georgia Tech is plus 2,500 or 25 to 1. And I do like Georgia Tech for a few reasons. First of all, believe it or not, Georgia Tech is actually the number 4 seed at the ACC tournament, which means that they get a double bye. They will not have to play until Thursday when the conference tournament opens on Tuesday. They have also beaten, how about this, Florida State, North Carolina, Clemson, Virginia Tech, and Duke. So they are the number 4 seed in this conference tournament. And in the regular season, they beat the 2 seed, the 3 seed, the 5 seed, and the 6 seed. I would also say they had Virginia beat at Virginia and ended up losing. And so I think you talk about a team that could make a run. Josh Pastner, I call him the Shield because of that weird shield he wears on his face. But this team has played well over the course of the season. And because of it, I do believe that Georgia Tech is probably the long shot favorite to win the conference tournament. In terms of actually winning the conference tournament, though, listen, I'm going to go with Florida State. I do think that even though they have struggled away from Tallahassee, they will be playing here on a neutral court. They will be, I think, a little bit frustrated that they didn't win a second straight ACC regular season title. And obviously, we all know what happened last time they played Virginia. The last time that they played Virginia, during the regular season, if you remember, they absolutely dominated. And when you look at Virginia, look, I have respect for what Tony Bennett has done, but you go through all these years of success one year after another where they have been in contention. They have not been great at the ACC basketball tournament, having won just twice since Tony Bennett has got there. They've won 5 regular season titles, but they've only capped it off with 2 ACC tournament titles. As a matter of fact, the year they won the national championship, they didn't even win the ACC conference tournament. Didn't matter. They won the big one, the one that mattered. But I only bring it up to say that I do believe that Florida State, with that size, length, and athleticism, should be the favorite.